Today we're here at Van Dam Marine Company in Boyne City, Michigan. And we're here talking to Steve Van Dam, the owner and proprietor of this corporation. Steve, I know you run the business here with your wife, and you've told me a little bit about how you came to be here in Boyne City. Why don't you expound a little bit on where you've come from, where you've been, and how you ended up here?
Well, I grew up in Grand Rapids and had an interest in boats and boating, which led me to an apprenticeship in Ontario with a boat builder. And after that apprenticeship, I also worked for a cabinet maker. And then my wife and I moved back to northern Michigan and started our own business, which was, we started the business in 1977. And we operated there until just this past summer as a custom boat building business and a restoration business, although primarily custom boat building. And then the opportunity came up to purchase a bankrupt facility here in Boyne City, the former Harboridge Marine Company. And we did purchase these assets and moved this summer to here.
Great. What is the biggest difference between the shop you had in Harbor Springs and the one you have here?
This is a much bigger facility than what I had before. We had a real nice building, but we were in a commercial park there, and we did not have water access. We had about a 4,000 square foot building. And here we've acquired a lot more property, a lot more buildings. I have water access now with our own travel lift on it. This building alone is 80 by 200, so we've got 16,000 square feet heated compared to the 4,000 square feet I had before. So it's just a lot more.
Great. So really you're operating more as a full-service business than the smaller shop you had in Harbor Springs.
Yeah, we really have kind of changed our business, of course. We had a real specialized niche business before. And now we've broadened that focus, although we want to keep the boat building very active in this business.
Well, I know from looking around your shop and from talking with you briefly that you have been in kind of new boat construction and some refit and restoration. Is this new location going to give you broader access to larger boats and bigger projects?
Yeah, that's kind of what the draw was, having my own water access and being able to handle larger projects. As I say, we want to keep the boat building, the custom boat building active, and now we theoretically can build up to 100 feet. We've only built, the largest we had built before was 55 foot. But now with this new facility, we want to promote large refit restoration projects on bigger boats along with our specialized woodworking. Yeah,
Steve, as long as we're talking about refit and reconstruction, one of the projects you've got back there that caught our eye was Bacant, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, it's Bacant. And it's a 64-foot wooden sloop. It was built in 1936, built for the Governor General of Sweden, I believe. And when that boat was built, originally the hull all came out of one tree. It's a pretty unique, special boat. And a real gentleman owns it now. He's a real connoisseur of fine boats. He has several other real fine boats, some of which we've had an opportunity to work on. And he appreciates good work, and he likes to keep things real nice, and we enjoy working for that kind of person.
So you're as happy to find him as he is to find you, I would assume.
Yeah, it's been a real mutual good thing for both of us.
She's a very fine-lined ship, as I looked at her from above. Have you ever sailed on the boat? Have you been in her while she's underway?
Unfortunately, I haven't sailed as much as I'd like to. As you and I discussed, when you're in the boat building business or in the boat business, it's often not conducive to playing on boats, but I did get a chance to sail a couple times just briefly on it, and it's a real nice sailing boat.
You know, you mentioned that there are three categories, and I have to tell you, the shop is going to be the envy of anybody that's ever seen it. There are three basic categories that you're working with. You mentioned, first of all, refit and restoration. What does that entail, primarily?
Well, if, say, somebody wants to remodel a boat, so to speak, if they've got a bigger boat, they want to rip out the interior and redo it, that's what I think of as a refit. Maybe change the hardware, refinishing it, new paint job, that kind of thing, but on a larger scale, not just a little touch-up here or there. Restoration tends to refer more to runabouts like what we're standing next to here, which we have experience in also, where people will bring us an old runabout and we redo that for them.
What exactly is this boat we're leaning up against here?
This is a 1947 Gravette. It's a Canadian-built boat, and this will be a full restoration job that we'll be doing on this.
Great. Then the second category that you mentioned in this was of your specialized parts of your business is new boat construction.
Right.
We've seen a little bit of what you've done out back. What are the new projects that you have done in the past and that you intend to do in the future?
Well, we really, as I say, my personal interest is in custom boat building. I enjoy that a lot. That's been my training. And we want to keep promoting that, and we'd like to do more runabout activity. We've built several replicas of the classic runabouts. We've done a lot of different sailboats, and I'd like to continue just really doing that, same size activities, maybe some bigger boats. The market's kind of down on that right now, but all kinds of custom wood activity. And we may even look at other materials. I probably never build in fiberglass because I personally just don't care to work in the material as far as construction goes, but we certainly will be doing some work on them here. But we may look at other materials like aluminum or something in the future.
So the shop will work in all different materials?
Yes, yes.
How important now, now that you have the bigger building and this terrific shop, how important will the storage and haul-out part of your business become?
Well, I'm thinking that that's going to be kind of a cornerstone of the business also. As you're mentioning, we've kind of got three facets, and storage and service will definitely be one facet of the business. We want to promote our storage. We have a lot of room to store boats. We won't do some things maybe that a larger marina would. Right now we don't have new boat sales. We don't have a brokerage department, that kind of thing. But we'll be able to do any kind of service work on boats.
It's a hands-on business then?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, it is going to be the envy of a lot of people seeing the kind of space you've got to work in. There's a tremendous number of projects in here that I know a lot of people, myself included, would love to tackle. I mean, I'm dying to get indoors with a couple of my projects. Tell me very briefly, what are the real special considerations that one has to look at when getting involved in a business of this type?
As far as running the business?
Running the business, keeping good help, anything like that.
Yeah, well, that's one of the key things right there in this kind of business is having good help, and it's something that in our move, we've actually lost a couple key people, and it's hard to find good qualified craftsmen, but we'd like to find some more. But that is a key thing, a key problem and an important thing. I like to have good people here. We have pretty high standards. I don't like to do just run-of-the-mill stuff. We like to shoot for the best, and I like to turn out first-rate stuff. So we like to find the right people that like to do that kind of thing.
Are you always looking for those kinds of people?
Yeah, we usually, I've been pretty fortunate the last few years. I've had a pretty steady group of people that have stayed with me, and as I said, because of our move, we did lose some people, and they're hard to replace, and we're actively looking for new people.
Well, I'll tell you, you may find me knocking on your door someday. I'd probably end up painting bottoms for 2 or 3 years. In a wrap-up, tell me what your basic philosophy is here in your shop.
Well, that's probably hard to put in a wrap-up, but my basic philosophy is excellence, really. I like to do, no matter what kind of project it is, I like to do first-class work. I'm not really the kind of person that's content to do a second-rate job. And, excuse me, I think that shows in our boat building for sure. I think we have a real good reputation, and we want to keep it going as turning out first-class stuff. So I think striving for excellence would sum up my philosophy of business.
Is that a little easier in new boat construction than some of the refit work?
It is. Fortunately, as the boats you've looked at, we right now have a couple of real high-quality boats that we're doing refits on, but it is a shame. A lot of the boats you see in the market, the quality of workmanship is really kind of mediocre, and it is frustrating when you want to do top-quality work to have to deal with some of those things.
You betcha, and I agree with you. I think that there's only one way to do a boat well, and that's the right way.
Right.
Certainly you can't get out and park them and walk home.
Right.
Let me ask you, do you mind if we come back and follow up on you in 5 or 6 months? I know that some of our viewers would love to see some of these projects a little farther along.
No, that'd be fine. Happy to have you come back.
Great. Steve, thanks very much for being with us, and we appreciate it.